but like James, like you and Craig said, they should have paid him 2 years ago. So now in 2 years, he's seen 3 different quarterbacks get paid. So now he now saw that and said, you know what? Oh, I want to be on this pod. So now he's the second highest paid quarterback in the league behind Mahomes.
Yep.
But if I'm sitting here now, guess who have leverage now? The 2 quarterbacks that got a lot of leverage now is going to be Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson because their stats are better. They've won more. Their stats are better. And yes, Lamar's MVP trophy is 2 years ago or a year ago, but he still got an MVP trophy and he has more playoff wins. So his leverage is going to be high.
Let me start off with that with my next question. You just bled into it, right? What do you think? Where do you see the future quarterbacks' contracts start at?
I'm gonna say, I think it's gonna go. I think it's gonna be definitely. It's gonna be 45 plus. It can almost hit 50 because you look at this as you look at what Dak just had, and he got that coming off an injury. Yeah. So if you look at this now, and now the quarterbacks that's coming up, the next couple quarterbacks coming up has won more than Dak has with less talent. You know what I'm saying? With less talent, to be honest with you, on all of a sudden, if you look at Lamar, yes, Lamar's had a top 5 defense, but Lamar can sit here and say, yo, I put this team on my back and won at this level with literally when you've given me no true number 1 receiver. You know what I'm saying? You've given me less than nothing offensively, and look at what I've been able to do. So his leverage is going to be crazy. Even a Josh Allen, his leverage is going to be crazy because he can say, yo, I've improved leaps and bounds year after year after year. Look at my stats. So their leverage is going to be crazy. I can see them 2 making almost at least at the lowest 45 a year, maybe even 50. I can see it. Whew, that's what the market's going to hit for.
Goodness, Craig, what'd you think? Where's the contract set up future quarterbacks?
Let me say this. Personally, I don't think I don't think Dak is worth his contract. I don't think he is. I don't think he's good enough to be that. But I understand that's the market. So I mean, it is what it is.
He's about
Dallas didn't pay him.
He's worth about
right. And Dallas didn't pay him a couple years ago when they had the chance. But you know what I'm saying? This is what the market is. Like the market for quarterbacks is going up like every year. So I can only see it getting higher and higher. And like Mo said, like Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield is going to be coming up soon. Like there's a bunch of guys that, especially Baker Mayfield last year, he really, I mean, I didn't think he was going to play that well. So, and then Josh Allen was like an MVP candidate. So, I mean, and Lamar Jackson, like most, has already been an MVP. So there's a bunch of guys that is going to demand about 40-something million dollars a year, 44, 45. And then eventually that's going to keep going up and going up. Imagine what happens when Trevor Lawrence, if he plays to his ability as being the best prospect or one of the best prospects ever to come out of college. Imagine what his pay is going to be when he becomes a free agent in 3 or 4 years.
Hey, I got somebody before him. Imagine when Kyler Murray gets out of his rookie deal. Right. In 2 years. I mean, 2 years, man, that's going to be.
There's so many quarterbacks out there that have the ability or the talent to actually get paid more than what Dak just got paid. And they may not be worth the contract that they're going to get paid, but that's what the market value is for quarterbacks. And if you want to be considered like a really good team, you have to have a quarterback. So, I mean, somebody's going to pay him eventually. It might not be the team that they started out with, but it's going to be some team out there that's going to pay. They might even overpay for some of these guys, but that's what it's going to dictate. So, I think like a lot of NFL, obviously you get injured all the time, and you never know. You see what happened to Dak last year. You just never know when it's your time to get injured, and then you're done. Like Cam Newton, he's done. So I mean, you want to get all your money. It's kind of like a tricky situation because you want to get all your money, and you want to get paid, and you want to get the biggest contract that you can get, but you have to kind of limit it, like, and get some. I guess you don't want to take all of it, so that way you can have money to spend elsewhere for other players on the team. Like Tom Brady, his situation is different because he has his wife who makes more money than him. So he's able to kind of take less and build that defense up and build other position players, other players around him up. This situation is a little different. He's probably like one of the only special cases that I can think of that he's worth way more than his contract that he's getting paid. He's only getting paid like $25 million. He's worth way more than that.
Yeah,
so I mean, like
he about to restructure, I think, this year.
He is, and I mean, and I mean, I would too. I mean, he can afford to do it.
Yeah,
right.
And
we can be chasing for the 8th championship.
Right. We can keep some of those players around him, like Shaq Barrett and all them. Like, so I mean, I would do it too. But and he's getting tax free. So I mean, you know what I'm saying. So why not go ahead and do that? But not everybody's able to do that. Especially some of these young guys, they'll get their first big contract. So I'm all for Dak getting his money and everything like that. And I just see the market for it going up. But you gotta kind of like maybe tiptoe that line a little bit when you think about, yeah, I want to win a Super Bowl. Like Russell Wilson, he's in a situation now where his team is kind of strapped, and they can't get that. They don't have Legion of Boom money anymore. They barely even have offensive line money anymore. They're not going to re-sign, or they're not going to franchise tag Chris Carson now. So I mean, it's like, what did he do? Russell, he's complaining about his line and all this. So I mean, you have to figure out what's going to be right for me to take, as well as build around the team. You can't have both. You can't take all the money, and you know what I'm saying. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens going forward, especially for some of these younger, really good up and coming quarterbacks. But the market is clearly going up.
Yeah. What do you think, Corey?
I know there was some discussion when Mahomes' deal was being negotiated, and it could be where we're headed, in that instead of signing an actual dollar amount, that the quarterbacks will sign for a percentage of the salary cap. So whatever the cap ends up being, they're going to get a certain percentage of it. And so that could, with the new TV deals coming, that could end up being a substantial amount of money. I do also kind of wonder, though, at what point does the Players Association consider going to the owners and trying to amend the collective bargaining agreement to maybe put a cap on how much one player can take of a salary cap? Because, they put in the rookie wage scale because the number one picks coming out were getting just absurd amounts of money. Matt Ryan was the highest paid quarterback in NFL history before playing it down. And so they did that hoping to shift money to veterans. And well, it's seemingly all been shifted just to quarterbacks. Even just average quarterbacks are getting $20, $30 million a year now. So, I mean, I do wonder if at some point there does end up being a breaking point where everyone else in the locker room, everyone wants each other to get paid, but when quarterbacks are getting so much that it's keeping a lot of veterans from getting paid and they're getting cut to get cheap rookies, what happens then?
Yeah. I have to agree with all of you. The crazy thing about Dak is he's coming off an injury. And now the thing that Jerry Jones is funny. So he knows the new TV deal is coming up. He knows the cap is about to go up. It's at 185. I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. It's at 185.
182 and a half, I think.
182 and a half, 182.5. Okay. I was close. A couple million off. Right, but it went down from last year because of COVID. It's gonna go back up once stuff goes up. Now this new TV deal they're talking about, it's something interesting. I compared it to. Corey, I don't know if you remember this. Craig, you remember when iPhone was only exclusive to AT&T? Remember you had to be an AT&T user to get an iPhone? And everybody's like, oh, man, I'm not leaving my Verizon or Sprint or T-Mobile or Cricket to get AT&T just to get an iPhone, right? So I did some research. The Sunday ticket deal with DirecTV ends in 2022. Once again, AT&T owns DirecTV. They're talking with Disney Plus and Apple TV. Right? The deal with Sunday ticket was for 1.5. So in my mind, I'm thinking economy's back up because of COVID. The rich is getting richer. That's a fact. We'll probably start getting a little back to normal then. Vaccines and everybody is hanging out again. Can you imagine if they signed a deal with Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, Apple TV? You could pay $70, like what NBA does with League Pass, right? You pay a certain amount of money and you get it instead of being exclusively to DirecTV. Do you know how much money that would be? So I think they're gonna have to cap it off because I think these young quarterbacks. Dak just did what Kirk Cousins did. He just reset the market. Patrick Mahomes did, but he did, like Corey said, it's adjusted to the cap. He did a 10-year boom deal, right? But he left the option for them to sign more free agents, right? Can you imagine 5 years from now, $45 million a year is going to be like, oh, that's a nice deal, right? But it is adjusted per the percentage of the cap, right? So, if Dak reset the market, you're talking about Kyler Murray, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson won MVP. Josh Allen, both of these quarterbacks are playing less time than Dak, and they still won one playoff win, just like that. Right? So now, if Dak gets 42, you're wondering of how much these players are going to ask for. They're going to have to ask for. I mean, if you're paying a guy coming off injury, you got to have to pay me 46, 47, 45. And then you can understand, like you said, man, the quarterbacks in this coming draft, right? Kyler Murray is going to be up in a couple years. Tua, the Trevor Lawrence, even Zach Wilson, Justin, if these quarterbacks, by the time this new TV deal passed and the salary cap's at $232 million, these quarterbacks can be almost $50 million. I'm not mad at them. That's the art of the hustle. You can't. I'm never gonna be another man's pocket. I'm just saying that it's a lot of money. Dak reset the market, and he got paid doing it. He got paid doing it, man. So that's very interesting. It's gonna be very interesting to see how this goes forward, man. It's gonna be interesting because that TV money is gonna be real. I'm telling you right now. Disney's looking to buy it. Apple TV's looking to buy it. You can get Sunday Ticket on 3 servers. Even if they sign a $2 billion deal with Disney Plus, Apple TV, and Amazon, the cap is going to go up tremendously. So it's gonna be interesting, man. Jerry Jones knew it. 3 years now down the line, we're gonna be, oh, Dak's only the 10th highest paid, making $42 million a year. Isn't that crazy? He's gonna be looking to restructure. Isn't that crazy, right?